Hello everybody and welcome to this week's webisode of Arteco how-tos. Today we're going to be going over how would we create a map if we wanted to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to our US demo here and I'm going to go to our setup environment. So I have this highlighted and now I want to come down to my maps, and under maps I'm going to create a new project. So I'm going to add project. I'm going to give that project a name. Here in St. Louis, Missouri, we have the very famous Forest Park, which we've gone ahead and made some clips for. So what we'll do is hit proceed, and now you'll see I have a folder in my map, in my file tree for maps. Now I just highlight that folder, I'm going to right click on it, I'm going to add a map, and now it's going to give me basically a description of that map. Once again I'm going to call this Forest Park and hit proceed. Okay, so now we're in the situation where we want to highlight this map, and we have in this situation, it'll pop up and say, do you want to save the changes? Yes, we do. We're going to right click in this gray area and we're going to change the background. Now I've taken the liberty to go in and find some different maps previously, and basically what I did was I just used Google Earth and the Microsoft snipping tool, so just the Windows snipping tool that's built into Windows 10. So now I've clipped 4 different maps. I'm going to do Forest Park STL as my main map, and we'll hit open, and it'll say, are you sure you want to? And I say yes, I'm sure. And now I'm going to hit apply. It's always a good method to hit apply as you go. Most of the times it will prompt you if you try accidentally to go out of this area and it's not going to save it. It'll say, are you sure you want to leave? Do you want to save it before you do? So it's just good, kind of a good practice to always make sure you're hitting the apply button. You can hit it as many times as you want. So now by holding my control button, I can just use my scroll wheel to zoom out and take a look at this map that I've put on. Now this is the entire map of Forest Park, which is incidentally the biggest metropolitan park in the continental United States of America. Take that, New York City Central Park. Okay, so now we have multiple different venues that we can put in. So what we would do here is now we're going to populate cameras. So I'm just going to go over to video channels, and I'm going to find, put in cameras where I want to put them. So let's put in a PTZ. And before we do that, hold on, let me get back to my map. Before we do that, let's go and zoom out, because I'm going to put this PTZ in multiple areas. So I'm going to do, let's say, put this here. I'm just dragging it. I'm going to put it right on this museum here. And now I can size it just by clicking. Notice it has the label of that map, of that particular camera. I can delete that if I don't want that on there. And now I can actually move and shape this cone. So you have the ability to shape that however you want. You can also change the icon. So if I want to right click, select device icon, I can now go and choose more of a standard traditional PTZ icon, which is the upside down dome. So I hit OK. And I also have a lot of abilities to kind of change if this was, maybe this was something that I wanted to do analytics. It was a people counting application, or is it abandoned object, or it's a face recognition. Loitering, for example, violated area. There's a lot of different types of icons that you can immediately see what's happening just by glancing at the icon. So once again, I'm going to hit my apply. I'm also going to add in different reference maps. So let's just move this guy over a little bit here. And let's say I want to do multi-level mapping. So I happen to know St. Louis Forest Park very well. So what we have down here is the History Museum. So what I want to do is I'm going to go over to my folder, and it'll say, are you sure you want to save changes? Yes. I'm going to go over to my folder, and I'm going to add a new map, add map, and I'm going to call this History Museum. Okay. And I'm going to add another map. Right click, add map, and I'm going to call this St. Louis Zoo. And I'm going to do one more, and another iconic building in St. Louis, add map, the Art Museum. Okay. Now once again, I've already gone into Google Earth and I've used my snipping tool to create all these. So I'm going to go to History Museum, save changes, yes. I'm going to right click, change background. And let's go choose my History Museum and hit open. Yes. Apply. Okay, now we have the History Museum. Let's go to St. Louis Zoo. Yes. Right click, change background. And I'm going to choose my zoo. Open. Yes. Oops, did I not hit it? Yes. Hit apply. Okay, now we have the zoo. And now I'm going to choose Art Museum. Right click. Art Museum. Now let's see how we would associate all of these different maps, as sub-level, multi-level mapping to the overall map of Forest Park. So let's go back to Forest Park, and we'll zoom out here a little bit. And now we just need to put our maps where we want them. So guess what? All you need to do is first of all know your area. And I'm going to go History Museum. I'm going to grab it and drag it, and I'm going to put it right on top of the History Museum. I get a little map icon. Shape that if I want. And I'm going to leave History Museum just so people know that that's what that is. And then I'm going to go St. Louis Zoo. And I'm going to put that right on St. Louis Zoo. No problem. Shape that a little bit as well. And then last but not least, let's go to Art Museum and just drag and drop that right onto the map. Okay. And we'll hit apply. Now, when we go out to our map, we're going to go live view. I'm going to create a new layout. Let's just do new layout. I'm just going to do a 1 by 1, and we'll call this Forest Park. And I'll make that a local layout. Okay. And now let's drag this map onto the grid space. And now you'll see we have a map of Forest Park with a camera that we've added. So we can, obviously that's just a camera in our lab here that I can add very easily, move the PTZ. But I can also click and go into the History Museum if I like. Or I can go into the Art Museum if I like. And pan through all of those or go to the St. Louis Zoo. And now you can add all of those cameras, the access control points, anything that you want simply by dragging and dropping. So let's take a look at that. We're going to go back to Forest Park and go Setup. And another nice thing to do is let's make a link for each of these so I can easily navigate back to the overall. So once I'm in History Museum, I'm going to drag Forest Park on a History Museum, maybe put it down in the corner. And I'm going to rename this. Let's go text box properties and say return to Forest Park. Okay. And let's copy that. And maybe we want to make this, let's just make it stand out a little bit. So we're going to make it blue. I don't really like to look at that, but let's move it up so maybe we can see it a little bit better. Return to Forest Park. Okay, hit apply. And now I'm going to go to St. Louis Museum. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put this right here. Put my Forest Park map there. And we'll rename this text box properties. And since I copied it, all I need to do is just Control V to paste. Make that blue again. Hit OK. Boom, we got it. And now we'll go to the Art Museum one last way. And we'll just drag our Forest Park icon on there. I'm going to put that down here just so it stands out when I put in my return to Forest Park. Oops. Okay. And we'll make that blue just to be consistent. Now when we come out to our live view and we go to our map, we see Return to Forest Park. I just double click that and boom, I'm right out to my overall view. If I want to look at the Art Museum, I can see that and I can have all my cameras added on here looking at the Art Museum. So next what we'll do is we'll build this out and we'll take a look at kind of the finished product of everything once we're done. Thank you all for joining us. We're just going to let this kind of play through and we'll see you all next time. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.